Respectfully acknowledging that this meeting is being held on the traditional territory of the Classic people. We have a late agenda item that I'd like to put on under new business about the use of 8 barricades for the grand opening of the West Island Aqua Big House. Mr. Tidbury,
I'll make that,
moved by Council,
move.
seconded by Council Smith. All in favor? Carried.
That's all I meant to say.
I don't know if I said that properly. Approval of the agenda as amended.
Yeah,
So I just take it? Okay. Do we have the minutes of the regular council meeting held May 26, 2026 for adoption? Moved by Councillor Dorwood, seconded by Councillor Tidbury. Any errors or omission? All in favor? Carried. Delegations, we have Adam Ireton, Chair, Fort River Curling Club, regarding 2025 fee for service update to council. Come on up. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it. First off, want to thank the district for the grant and aid. It's a huge help and really necessary for the club. You guys will see in our financials from this year that costs continue to go up. We did have a good year this year, though. We had 2 nights of curling again this year. We had our mixed curling league, which had a dozen or so teams, and then our Sterling curling, which is like pairs kind of thing, shuffleboard. And the idea with that one was that it'll sort of get people who aren't serious about curling, or not serious, no one's serious about curling. But people who want to give it a try can come out and give it a try and then turns them into curlers. This is our second year doing it. We've seen some people moving from one program to the next, which is great. We had 4 bonspiels this year, a ladies, a mixed, a Sterling, and a men's bonspiel. All were really well attended. Lots of teams from Down Island. The men's, I believe there was 13 teams from Down Island that came out.
awesome.
Which fills up the hotels and stuff around town, which is great. Exactly. We had really good buy-in this year from the school boards. We had Eagle View, PHSS, and Fort Rupert all came. And actually Ikimiki came as well. And that the first 3 I mentioned, they're actually putting it into their curriculum for phys ed and for math as well. So they're using it as a learning and teaching experience, which is great.
Excellent.
The idea there, I mean, we're happy to have the ice used, but again, trying to turn little curlers into big curlers and make sure that building gets used properly. We did have 3 nights a week, I believe, this winter and spring, when we had yoga, Pilates, and another exercise group of some kind were there. So the building is getting used that way as well, which is great. You'll see on the financials that I gave to you guys, the BC Hydro continues to be our biggest expense. That 16,500 is essentially what it costs to run the building from October until March. During the summer, there's nothing that needs to be done. But a big old tin building like that, right next to the water, trying to keep it cold. So that's where the grant and aid really comes in for us. We need that, otherwise you can see down at the bottom, we would be running backwards. Did you guys have any questions about the financials or the program in general?
Sounds very good. Sounds like you're on the upswing there.
We're trying, yeah. We for years there was a group of older curlers that were there, and we didn't do a good enough job of filling up the sort of the top of the hopper. And so when the older guys retired and fell out of the bottom, the club kind of ran out of members for a little while, but we're back on track a little bit now.
Great. Yeah, I think you guys run a really welcoming program out there. I wish I could stand curling just a little bit. I'd be glad to join you, but the financials, it actually doesn't show anything for District Court Hardy grants in here. Or
The
offline.
that may have been a, let's see, that one will be, That'll be a timing issue, I think.
Okay.
Our year end was April 30th, I believe, so
Mhm.
we may not have had that check yet.
Okay,
I think.
okay.
Thank you very much, Adam. It's, the curling club has been an institution in our community for many, many years, and I curled out there for many, many years, and
Come on back.
one time I went out, I fell. It was very embarrassing. But,
And I should say we've had lots of help as well from the rec board here as well. Getting us into the booklet as well as on the sign out there. So I really appreciate anybody and everyone who can sort of yell from the mountaintops to get people out there.
Yeah, perfect. Good job.
yeah, no, very good job. Councilor Smith.
Fantastic. I'm really glad to hear about school participation. That's when I started, and also, yeah, I used to curl too. I can't bend my knee anymore, so I don't know if curling is my thing, but with the hydro, that's so much. I don't know, with all the grants out there for solar, I wonder if that's something that we could ever explore to help offset some of that
Absolutely. I mean,
ginormous cost.
anything that we could do would be great. Yeah, any programs. We've looked at as many different grants and opportunities as we can.
Mhm.
It's tricky for us as the curling club because it's not our building.
Mhm.
So the grant application kind of gets hung up a little bit on some different spots,
Okay.
but
Mhm.
we'd be happy to explore any of those avenues. 'Cause yeah, it just keeps going up.
Yeah, it's not gonna go down.
No.
Well, fantastic work.
Just want to mention too about the high schools, if you could ever get a league going with the high schools, that's what when I started was high
Mhm.
school, and then it was in Nova Scotia, and I traveled all over Nova Scotia playing in curling.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm seeing it now with my kid who's gonna go into high school, getting them to do anything other than sit there and look at a phone
Yeah.
and talk to their buddies is tricky, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to high school.
yes,
That's right.
he'll be 13 on Thursday, 13 going on 22 at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, that's right.
I'm happy to be here this evening, actually. Nice break.
You can stay for the whole meeting.
I just might, I just might. Get a new office space over there. Let's go curl for a while.
Yep.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And
Adam,
yeah,
for
thank you guys
coming.
again. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you too.
Yeah.
Good job.
And next, we have a delegation, Trish Fossum, Tri-Port Minor Baseball, regarding the Toronto Blue Jay Field of Greens grant opportunity. Trish, and is Granton coming up too?
He's here for another video.
Okay.
So the grant, you've got the digital link. That is pretty self-explanatory, I think. So the grant itself is with the Toronto Blue Jays, their Jays Care Foundation, so they give money to build ball diamonds, which is kind of cool. Just some of the things that they say, for this year, they had 22 organizations across 7 provinces that received funding to build, enhance, or refurbish local baseball diamonds in their community. These diamonds will help expand the game of baseball across Canada while providing kids with a safe and inclusive space to build character, resilience, and find a sense of belonging in their community. And that's kind of what we're trying to do with our minor baseball program. You can see it's kind of at the bottom of that link on the page, the web page. So to apply for the grant, you must be a charitable organization, a nonprofit, baseball or softball association, a municipality or First Nation. Building within Canada, which is what we would be doing. You have to have the project complete within 12 to 18 months of receiving funding. Dealing with infrastructure that directly supports children and youth facing barriers. And there's financial statements you have to provide, quotes for the project, providing municipality and work permits where required. So my suggestion is that I know that there's going to be an assessment done of the ball fields, is what I've been told. And I guess pending that assessment is sort of 2 or 3-fold. If the Park Drive area is deemed appropriate and feasible for the construction of a ball field, then we would like the support, actually, we would like the district to apply for the Field of Dreams grant with support from Trapart Minor Baseball.
So would Trapart Minor Baseball be able to help out? Because our staff is pretty stretched. And I know that this would be towards the end of October.
Yeah.
That would have to be in, and that's right during election time.
Yeah.
Staff is gonna be really stretched with managing elections and things like that. So I'm not sure how big your executive is.
It is quite small at the moment. However, we have had some people that have expressed interest in helping us apply for the grant. So I guess I'm saying the district apply for the grant because it is district land. It is owned, scheduled, maintained by the district. All of the work permits and that kind of stuff would be, if you're the ones applying for the grant, that makes that part of it easier. In terms of the actual application, we are more than happy to contribute in whatever way we can. Also, because the assessment is being done, the outcome of that would determine like, what can we do? What are we willing to do? What is the cost? That's not something that Trapart Minor Baseball has the capacity to do because it's district land. So I think it makes sense that it's a partnership, but that ultimately it comes from the district. Yeah, so there's a link to the frequently asked questions on that page as well. I have printed a few copies. I don't know if anybody wants
Yeah, okay.
some copies of that, but
Mhm.
they're not, it doesn't really give you a ton of information. Basically just tells you what the grant would cover.
Mhm.
So dugouts, accessibility improvements and upgrades, the supplies, transportation and labor required to build or refurbish spaces, training for staff and volunteers responsible for space maintenance and bleachers. So I know that I don't want to go into detail about my previous proposal to the district about the Park Drive Diamond because I think that was very thorough. But all of those things could be included. I think the main thing is if that location is even feasible. And if it's not, then I think that we need to look at an alternative location and or turning one of the fields down at the beach into a baseball diamond and upgrading. And so the grant part of it, I think, is a no-brainer because the main issue that has been communicated to me about maintaining and working on the field at Park Drive is cost. And if that's the main issue, then I think that if we can apply for a grant that could give us $100,000 or more to do some work, then that seems like it's kind of a pretty easy decision as to whether or not to apply for the grant. I do want to give you a little bit of background information because I've learned recently that town council was unaware of minor baseball, is what I was told last week.
Ooh.
No,
Okay, well, I was told that
We've
you were,
been here already.
I know, but I was told that you were unaware of the scope of what we've been doing for this is our 4th year in operation. So I just wanted to be clear that our Port Hardy registration numbers have doubled since 2023. In the 3 communities at Port Hardy, Port McNeill and Port Alice, we have 130 kids registered. And I feel like it's been very difficult to try to get a minor sports organization off the ground. And I'm a bit baffled by the lack of support that has been shown. And I feel like this is one way that we could really show support for the youth in our community in terms of sporting opportunity. Having a field that is a quality field in town would also give our schools an opportunity to play some baseball, slow pitch, whatever they might want to do in their phys ed classes. And I feel like this kind of goes hand in hand with having a quality field in town and also having more access to the fields down at the beach, because we cannot operate with the numbers that we have, and if we grow, with only having one field. And currently the scheduling, we've arranged it for this year, but there has been no long-term plan made for accommodating slow pitch and minor baseball. And there's been a lack of willingness to prioritize the youth for the use of those fields down at Storrs Beach. And I feel like that's a pretty major concern. I was actually told that I would think that we would prioritize the youth like we do in other sports, such as hockey. I was actually told last week that that is not the case with hockey, but I actually have a copy of the policy that says that youth are prioritized over adults for the use of the ice time. And I also wanted to mention that I did bring forth this grant in 2024, and I was told that the district would not support it. And now 2 years later, we're in a position where we don't have a field in town. We're scrambling. We almost had to cancel our season because we didn't have a place to play. So, yeah, it's kind of a multifaceted issue, but I think that applying for this grant would give us an opportunity to perhaps make some gains.
Thank you, Trish. We don't make any decisions tonight,
No, I know that.
and we'll take it to a committee of the whole. Because the next Park and Recs meeting is not until September. So with this due the end of October, more than likely, once they make the announcement, that we will have to have a committee of the whole to discuss it beforehand. But again, no decisions will be made tonight.
No, I was aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we know when the assessment is being made on the fields? Do we have that information at all?
No. I don't know.
Okay.
Councilor Dorwood,
Yeah, thanks for bringing this grant opportunity to our attention. It'd be great timing, depending on the outcome of the assessment of the field, so that's great. The one thing I couldn't find online was, other than like the 2.6 million and 200 and something things averaging about 100,000 each, but what is the amount of the grant?
I don't think that they have, from what I know, I don't think they have a specific amount. I think I don't honestly don't know what their pool of
Okay.
resources is. So
Okay.
I think that when you apply, from what I could see on the application, you indicate how much you would, like what your cost would be for what you want to do. And then I think that they go from there, but that's.
Is there even any indication of percentage funding or anything? Like I couldn't find anything to do with it, like, do they?
I think we can reach out to them and ask for those specific details. I have been emailing them a little bit to get some information, but that isn't something that I know off the top of my head. So
Just thinking like, if we're applying for this at the end of October and we're also going to be doing, our financial plan. And, if it's something that we think we're gonna get, but that if we get it, we're gonna have to pay 50% or whatever, like just so that we could have an idea of what to plan for in the financial plan, if it's, up to whoever's on council next round. But just be helpful if you do find any of that information to bring up from. Yeah. Thanks. And thanks for all the work you do with it. I think it is hard to lead stuff in any community, and yeah, to get stuff off the ground is extra hard. So thanks for your perseverance and growing it. Yeah,
For you.
appreciate it. Yeah.
any other questions?
No, looks good.
Okay.
Plug ahead,
thanks.
Thank you.
make it happen.
Okay, under business of rising, we have our council action item report, May 26th. Sydney for information. Comments?
Just found a typo as always. I can't help it.
How did I miss that?
On the second page, middle item, the PrAC recommendation. Description, staff to proceed with issuance of GIA.
Issuance.
No, it's, grant and aid?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think,
For the application.
yeah. I think it's, yeah, it's not right.
No.
And I would have told you earlier, but I just found it.
Any other comments? We have we have the draft letter to the Honorable Mark Carney, Prime Minister, Government of Canada, the request for an update on the salmon agriculture transition plan. And we have a draft letter. Any comments? Mr. Doran?
I just think this is an excellent letter.
Yeah.
It focuses on the devastation that if the current plan is carried forward, that will happen in our community. It's something I really hope we don't see, and it focuses on, let's make science-based decisions. They've been farming here for 42 years.
And a big thanks to staff working with council to put this all
There
together.
are many tweaks.
Yeah. We threw back a few suggestions and
But they did it. It's great.
redrafted.
Yeah, a fantastic letter.
Yeah, yeah, very good.
So may I have a motion?
I'll
Counselor
make that
Dipper,
motion.
seconded by Counselor Lucas. Any other comments? All in favor? We have another draft letter to the Honorable Mark Carney, Prime Minister, Government of Canada, regarding the federal investment in infrastructure and support of economic development initiatives.
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Tipper, seconded by Councillor Garwood.
Well, I'll just say again,
A
great
great
letter.
letter.
Staff got it. Hit the nail on the head with the request to send we were looking for in there. So.
You just gotta hit one on the head and make it out.
Any other comments? All in favor? Carried. Under new business, we have the use of 8 barricades for the grand opening of the Glasalana Big House. And they have, they've sent their purpose to minimize congestion in the village. And, they have quite a detailed plan on what they're going to do, but they do need some barricades and, so looking for.
I'll make that motion to supply barricades.
Second by Councillor Smith. Any comments?
History.
History in the making, so staff left this on my seat about the big opening and, so June 15th to 18th, and they're expecting thousands. Yeah,
Busy.
Mayor, just, was there, like to council a formal invitation? We just show up when
we
we
did
show up?
show up, I had asked, our manager of corporate services to check in and, I don't think you've heard back. So I do know the Monday at 10 o'clock is when they start their opening
Mhm.
and make the announcements and things like that. And then the other days are some celebrations and dancing.
Okay. Oh, Red's got his hand up.
Yeah, sorry, there's an agenda that I just saw and it's disappeared from my phone, but I can forward the agenda and it's got a list of the 4 days and the events on each day. So anyway, I'll forward that to folks if they like.
It's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was included with this, that there was 2 documents in this email.
Insurance.
Anyway, thanks, Fred.
Thank you, Fred. Yeah. So we got a mover seconder, all in favor? Carried. Moving under correspondence, did I miss something?
No,
Okay.
that was just me talking. Sorry.
It's all good. Under correspondence, we have from Trish Fossum, resident, regarding the approval of Lake Granton request to council for Granton Fossum for discussion.
Mhm.
So we have included the policy. And I know Granton's here. And congratulations for doing so well down at the BC Provincials, you and Caden.
Great job, you guys.
So,
Representing us, that's awesome.
yeah. So I'm not, we were going to discuss this here about the grant and aid, and I'm not sure how much is left in our grant and aid.
We have remaining 471 out of our late grant and aid. And pretty slim.
So then looking at the policy, there's the team sport applicants and an individual applicants. And so I'm just not quite sure what council wants to do. Council Dorwood.
Well, we never know if anybody else is gonna come forward with a like grant and aid, and I think we should support this in accordance with the policy for $250.
I'll second
Okay, any other comments?
Because I don't think that the original letter was included with the agenda, only the policy. I don't know if the other people have seen the original letter, what requesting the.
Yeah, that came from.
Yeah, because it came on everybody's email.
Yeah, but I don't think it
Oh,
got
it's
included
in
in
here.
here.
What should have been included?
They said it, when I looked for it, linked to that. It didn't.
Right, I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's just got the policy, not the letter on it.
So any other comments?
No, just I think it's great that
Yeah.
we could support our kids in the North Island and support us in the provincials. That's pretty neat because we know that it doesn't happen all the time. And I think in the letter it mentioned that we hadn't had anybody representing PHSS for 8 to 10 years, I believe, from the North Island. So to have two students come from our high school to go to the provincials of the track, I think that's pretty cool.
Well, just to even qualify to go.
To even qualify.
Yeah, because it's a big step. So we're pretty lucky
Yeah.
to have such a qualified coach on North Island now.
Yeah. Perfect.
So all in favor? Carried. We have, next under correspondence, we have from David, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but Sy, Executive Director of Operations, BC Nurses Union, 2026 donation, thank you, and just for information.
It's nice to get a letter of thank you.
Yes, because I think we just sent down Sway, yes,
Mhm.
we have from Councillor Corey Ramsey, President UBCM, the next phase of provincial outreach for the Heritage Conservation Act for information. So,
I did have a comment with regards to that it did talk about, Heritage Conservation Act Amendment, and it talked about regional information sessions, and it says that that they were gonna send out, they did dates. Did you? I didn't see it.
Yeah, I got the date.
yeah,
Did we get them?
Yeah.
Do you know what they are?
coming up soon.
Yeah.
So,
I remember exactly.
so in other words, we
I'll,
just missed
I'll,
it.
I'll get it for you.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
it's coming up in June 23rd, but I could be wrong.
Okay, so that's the one that we can go online
Yeah.
and be a part of? Okay,
Yeah.
that's
We could even
awesome.
think about doing it in council again, like we
Yeah.
did the other day.
Yeah, okay, I just wanted to double check on that, because for some reason I didn't see that. So I was just wondering when they were sent out, because they said they were going to, and thank you for telling me that they have, so that's awesome. I will definitely be attending on that one.
We have from the Honorable Nina Krager, Minister of Public Safety and Solicitor General regarding the RCMP service delivery in Fort Harding and Fort Alice for information. So this is, it's interesting when this has all come about and And now this is the official letter, but it's been happening for a little while. And basically what it is that, Port Hardy detachment will be the detachment for both Port Hardy and Port Alice. And when I heard that, I thought, oh, was that gonna work? But it's gonna work probably
Better.
better than
It's
it
better.
did before, because before, when there was only an RCMP in Port Alice, if that RCMP was away or out of town or for whatever reason, they would have to wait to get someone assigned from another area to be able to go in there, whereas now, if they're all out of Port Hardy, if there's a call for service, someone from Port Hardy will be
So they
there.
got a backup.
They'll have it's like a backup plan,
Perfect.
yeah. So it sounds very positive, and I mean, they'll reassess it in a year's time, but it sounds better for the community. Okay, we have from IGRS, local government communique regarding FIFA World Cup 2026 for information.
Just a question.
Yes.
They talked about the community activities playbook. Now, with regards to our recreation department, are we gonna be actively doing anything with regards to FIFA? Like, when it talked about what you can do in your community, and it probably says what you can't do in the community if you don't pay FIFA for the money. But anyways, I was just wondering if, like, we've got at the Civic Center, we got the big screen or whatever, and if there happens to be games coming up, is there, they thought about maybe doing something like that, having a, you know, the community come to watch the Canada play or whatever, how far we get ahead or however that works? I'm not sure where that all fits in. I hadn't heard from you guys whether we were doing anything and. You know,
I think I sent this earlier in the week and I took a look over it and I wasn't sure. I haven't talked to anybody about it to see. I do see June 18th would be a Thursday, which would be bingo, so there's no way we'd be able to take Civic for that day.
Mhm.
No, June. Could be something if we wanted.
Yeah, I was thinking more or less I'm thinking more or less towards the end when we're getting close to the,
Mhm.
you know, the finals or whoever's playing.
Mhm.
Like you have, Olympic finals or whatever. I remember one year we had it here at the arena when they had the final when Canada was playing the US at the Olympics and they had the big screen set up in here and, people get the community could come and watch the game. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know how this works. Is it like, are these guaranteed games that are playing?
Yes,
Like all of them?
they're qualifying games.
So is it more the end ones, the July, like which?
Well,
one?
it's the first round.
Yeah, the first
It's the-
round is
it's the
guaranteed, and
elimination
after
round.
that would depend on where they fit in the standings, right?
Yeah.
You don't know who's gonna be playing
Oh, I
down the
see.
road kind of thing.
Yeah,
Could be anybody.
If-
It's just a thought.
Yeah.
I don't,
If Canada wins two games, they're through to the next round.
yeah. But you gotta win too.
They'll win two. And one I'm almost certain they'll get, but the other might be tougher.
It's never for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, we have from Sandra Boyd, manager from Pacific Hannah,
Senator.
regarding the end-to-end relay invitation to council. And this is going to be taking place next week at the high school, Wednesday, yeah. All right, moving on to reports. We have the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting held May 12th for information. Any comments? We have the draft minutes of the emergency planning committee meeting held May 25th for information. The Tidbury, did you have anything you'd want to bring up?
Recommendation there.
There's a recommendation.
I was just finding the information for it. Oh, Main Road, yes, now it's all coming back to me. Took me a little while. Okay. Just I'm sort of disappointed with Main Road. We had an accident just the other day at the Cole Harbour Junction. And we tried to get hold of Main Road and with no success. So we reverted back to the district and the department asked the district if they could supply some sand for the road. Because what it'd been a T-bone accident and there was oil and fluids all over the road, so it made the whole road slippy. And like I say, the timing is very poor. They should have somebody here in Port Hardy or somebody actually that can be ready for such events. And this is not the only time that this has happened. What it does, it puts your volunteer fire department, you know, in a case where we don't want to leave the scene unsafe. And Main Road is supposed to come along and get flaggers and stuff like that to take the replacement of the fire department. The fire department, as soon as their job is done, you know, the accident is clear, got the patients away. That's basically the end of the fire department, and the mainland is supposed to take over from there. But what we found, and this is not the only time, it's numerous times before that, where the fire department have had to spend a lot more time at the scene of an accident.
So the emergency planning committees put a recommendation forward. Do you think by having engagement with the emergency planning committee, that will be a step forward in engaging with Main Road a bit more?
Well, we've tried, and like I say, it's, we need a bit of help on trying to get Main Road to the table here.
We've got a recommendation. I mean, that could be the first step.
Yeah, the first step. And actually, yeah, that meeting was before
The accident.
the accident.
Mr. Doyle?
Is this recommendation arising out of the request for signage as an alternate emergency evacuation route? Or what was the recommendation? What was the impetus for it on May 25th at the meeting? It seems to be connected to signage for an emergency evacuation route. I'm just trying to
Seems different.
determine.
Okay.
Louisa has her hand. Louisa has her hand.
Oh, sorry. Louisa?
If I may, so the emergency planning committee has been working to engage Main Road North Island for several months now to engage in conversations, particularly as it comes to emergency response and their role in emergency response. So staff have reached out to their primary contact, Chris Kelly, to invite them to come and attend meetings, and we just haven't heard anything back at this point, but it's been going on for some time where they've been looking to try and have someone at the table to talk about some of these concerns that have been arising from exactly incidents that happened on last Friday.
A motion, this recommendation and a copy to the Ministry of Transportation. Maybe it's not in their contract.
It is.
I don't know, I'm just saying.
No.
But nice,
Sometimes happens.
yeah.
I'll second that.
Sendable.
Second by Councillor Smith, and I think maybe as part of the letter, we could say possibly someone from Main Road should be stationed in Port Hardy.
Yes.
Right, all in favor? Carried. We have the draft minutes of the Arts and Culture Committee meeting held May 26th for information. Councillor Robertson. Bring forward.
I think most of the information will be coming forward to a council and a committee of the whole near you. So that's part of the discussion. I would like to say I do like having the separate Parks and Rec committee meetings, and I'm looking forward to when we do review it again. So, but the larger issue was the there was the ball field discussion, but also the Mini Peaks legacy project, and my understanding is that that discussion will go to a committee of the whole as opposed to happening this evening, which I think is a good idea. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have the draft minutes of the committee of the whole meeting held May 26th for information. Any comments or concerns? Lots of meetings coming up, hopefully, that could be soon. Okay, under staff reports, we have from Nora May Isaac, Director of Finance, regarding the 2026 Q1 finance update for information. Director of Finance.
I didn't prepare a narrative, this time. Last year we didn't do Q1. And really, mostly because we don't adopt our financial plans till we're right into Q1. So when you take a look at it, everybody's under budget except for one. And that's because till we adopt our financial plan, we're not throwing the budgets to everybody to take a look at, even though they help prepare them. So people are really cautious in Q1, and so you don't have very much of a picture to tell. But that being said, the animal control is because of a water line that broke down there. And so there was like $11,000 of damage done, and there's an insurance claim out. So we've decided just to leave it sitting in that expense account till we find out what's gonna happen with the insurance claim. And we have a deductible, of course, but I'm sure, like, it's such a small budget, it doesn't take much to really throw that one, especially in Q1 when it first went.
Yeah.
So really 22% under, and we'll be doing Q2 with a narrative in usually about the third week of July. You've got most of your information in, so we'll hope for however that works with the meetings in July and August. Any questions?
Any questions?
Good.
Any good? Thank you very much. We have from Heather Nelson Smith, our Chief Administrative Officer, regarding the Mini Peaks Legacy Project Phase 2 advancement and site selection considerations for discussion. Councilor Robertson.
Thanks. Could I move that we refer this to a committee of the whole? There's a lot of things that will take some discussion and research, and I think if we refer it to committee of the whole for that discussion to happen, and then anything coming from that, we can take to a subsequent council meeting.
Councilor Robertson.
Yeah, you want it to
That's
committee of the
okay,
whole and not the ops committee, or the Parks and Rec
It
committee?
doesn't meet again until September.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is another issue, but we'll get there sooner or later.
Second it to the committee of the whole.
Actually, Councilor Smith already seconded it.
Fine.
I was just gonna ask staff, because I know there was some discussion before the meeting about timing, and would that be with the next phase? Is that gonna be an issue?
I don't think so, but I'm still waiting to hear back, but I don't think. Like, if we wait till the end of this month.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay,
Okay.
but I'll let you know if it's not.
All right. All right, so all in favor? Carried. No current bylaws, no pending bylaws, council reports. Councilor Robertson.
Oh, my mic's still on. Bless my soul. Yeah, no, it was quite time. There was the Hardy Hustle, which was kind of fun. And I got to direct traffic for a while on there. I was very impressed to see during my time that both Louisa came through and did the Hardy Hustle, and Janet were both running in the Hardy Hustle. Congratulations to both of you. That's quite an achievement. And
Brian, too.
Brian too.
Brian was in the 10K, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He was
Yeah,
too
and
fast.
I didn't get to see any of the 10K runners, so congratulations, Brian. The comment I like best is somebody was coming by, they said, I didn't know it was gonna hurt so much. So, and I was also a part of the wayfinding session that happened in the afternoon. It was actually quite good. I look forward to seeing what comes of it, and because I think they were quite extensive in the groups they visited. So I do look forward to seeing those results. And that's me. Thanks.
Counselor Tidbury.
Okay. I see, this is sort of a slow time right now. I had a regional transit meeting, which was very interesting. And we talked about shelters, and the cost of shelters and stuff like that. And the transit offers 80%, they'll pay 80%, but the district will be responsible for the pad and the installation of the shelter. I passed the information on to Heather about different shelters and costs and stuff like that. And we've identified 3 locations that we definitely could use a shelter, and we're talking a simple shelter of probably a weatherproofing back and a roof, and basically a seat there for 3 people in these shelters.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
About this, because I passed that on to the regional district months and months ago about the grant that they can apply for, because these are regional district shelters.
Yeah.
That they should be paying a fair share of the cost too. Was that brought up?
It wasn't brought up.
Okay. So maybe.
It was, the transit people brought it back to us. So that's a little information I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Because we did talk about the shelters, and I wrote the information about the 80% and getting it. And then I went online, and probably the same place you got your information for, because I thought, because I do believe that there is places around here that we need shelters.
We need replacement shelters.
Yeah, well, and the company that makes the shelters that you see down island, stuff like that, they're beautiful.
Mhm.
You know, they're well constructed, and we're looking at, it's about $16,000 for a shelter with, a basic shelter, like I say, the 3 seats and the roof and the back weatherboard and a place to put the roots and the timing in those units. And basically I thought that that's where it was. So quite obviously, I didn't get all the information, because one of the other reasons was that the lady from Transit, okay, she was saying that the bus shelter for the 2 hospitals would be off the hospital ground, and that's not correct. In Port McNeil, it is correct. It's just right on the road there. But in Port Hardy, in the plan, the hospital plan which is proposed, it's right there just outside the door. And has its own shelter and everything that the hospitals, so quite obviously that the people at Transit are not talking with the hospital people.
You're gonna bring this up at the RD meeting?
I can,
Thank you.
okay, I'm glad you put that little bug in my ear.
Right on your book.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
No, that's good. Like I say, it didn't indicate that whatsoever. So, and the other thing,
Keep going, John, don't
keep
stop.
going, keep going. Well, I'm trying to get up to pace here. I'm not used to just having one meeting. You know, I need a little starter beforehand. So, the Filmy Days is, we had another meeting, last night. Yes, last night, and, it seems to be going okay. We're gonna have probably 5 fire trucks coming to town, vintage,
What?
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
okay? So that's gonna be nice, and they're gonna be all sat down on, Hastings. But we're gonna have a spot there, on Hastings to, show them off. And the other thing is, talked about the trip to Japan. And it looks like 6 individuals are going to Japan. Yeah.
Great.
That's awesome.
And so that's me,
Is that it, John?
but I've got to put that one down. I don't know.
RD, don't forget the RD.
I did, I've got it down.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, on May 27th, same as Councillor Robertson, I attended as much as I could the evening meeting for the wayfinding and mural, and I just loved it. If I didn't have karate, I would have stayed the whole time. I think we have excellent contractors that are doing it, and the community members, and the feedback. It was quite exciting, and I'm like, I don't want to leave. Like, just to be a part of it, I thought was absolutely incredible. So I'm really looking forward to the results of that. May 31st, I know, the Hardy Hustle, way to go, our runners and everyone that put it together, the work, the volunteers, everyone. It was just an incredible event. I sure enjoyed that. So well done to everyone involved on that. And then today we just had our Bear Smart meeting. We didn't have quorum, so it wasn't like official, but we got to meet our Wild Safe BC community coordinator, Christina Kuza Wells, and she's amazing. We are so fortunate to have hired such an incredible person. So stay tuned for some incredible sessions coming up. She's very knowledgeable and really a go-getter. She's got a bunch of school presentations lined up last minute, which is awesome because it's so hard to do, but she's doing that, and she'll be at every single night market. So we've got a night market coming up. She'll be there. Please take the time to go see her. She's going to be great. So we're working closely with her, and yeah, so good things will be coming with our Wild Safe coordinator. Thanks.
Councillor Dugas.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, just to reiterate what our other councillors have mentioned with regards to the wayfinding, the open house, that was, I got to go to the early session, so it was a very good one. I thought it was excellent, and they come up with a lot of great ideas, and obviously talking about signage. And when we look around our community and we think we've got a lot of signs, well, it looks like we need probably a lot more with regards to just directional stuff, right? I mean, we take it for granted because we know where we're going, but when people come into the town, and it was interesting because they'd mentioned that they'd driven around to look at things and trying to find out where things were, and they were saying, there's not a sign there indicating like where does it start or how do we get into the trail for the Quachi Trail or whatever? Where, how do you get into there? Where does it start? Where does it end? So there was a lot of things that was, you don't think about it because you live here, but yeah, when you're trying to get people involved in the community, yeah, that helps quite a bit when they're going around. And the mural, I'm really excited about the opportunity, what that's gonna look like in the end, and I'm really excited about, as Trina mentioned, about all this information that they collected, what they're gonna bring back. That's gonna be exciting. One thing that John mentioned, that he was involved with the event meeting, the 5-year strategic plan. You were there, John.
Yeah.
And some of the things that were talked about there was obviously, we're pretty excited about that because the increased revenue that we're getting from tourism. And now that we've got Hotel 19 going on down here and a number of other things that they're making these improvements, I think that we're pretty excited about what's gonna happen in the future and how we're gonna spend the money. I guess that's what the whole thing about the 5-year strategic plan is. Okay, we got this extra funding, what are they gonna do? Because they spent a lot of time before just spending money on advertising, right? Like get us here, but now we gotta start being more creative. How we go about spending the money that we get. And you know, they're pretty excited about this year. But if things keep going on the way they are across the waters there with regards to fuel costs and everything else, what kind of an impact that's gonna have? Maybe not so much this year, but maybe next year. We don't know where that's at right now, but we're pretty positive. And obviously the Natalie's trips to those places, she went to Toronto, she went to Calgary, Vancouver, big tourism events. She said that there was a lot of people in Canada really excited about coming out to the coast, right? So that's something that I guess we're excited about. But then I guess one of the other things that was mentioned there the other day was regards to I think it was the mayor sent out, because I was watching the TV and they were talking about Port Hardy, the Cape Scott, you know, and San Joe Bay and all this stuff, and boom, and here is it on the news. I'm going, oh my Lord, and then boom, Pat sent it out right away. Look at this. I'm thinking, yeah, we better get that signage up pretty quick down there to let them know that when they go on this road, it ain't a highway paved. It's a logging road, and you got to be prepared. So that's exciting. We had an opportunity to sit down at the Look West, BC's economic driver. Not much driving going on in the Vancouver Island by the look of it. There's only one project that they had on their list, and that's the one down by Campbell River for a wind farm. But Minister Collins, Callan, I guess Callan, he said that there was no major projects in the Lower Mainland or on Vancouver Island.
That's what he said.
And I'm thinking, boy, you had the balls to say that on there. When we're sitting here listening to him, and he's talking about Vancouver Island, there's no projects going on, which we do know that some of the delays for projects on the North Island have a lot to do with our power access, and we have all kinds of opportunity for wind farms up here, but there's no transmission line big enough. So that was, I would have to say, pretty disappointing, but it did talk about skills and training and tourism. But one of the things that came up was defense. And it was interesting to see some of the people that were on there commenting, asking about defense and that they could be a port. Well, don't forget, we used to have a defense outfit here in Holbrook for how many years? Then they took it away. But now that they talk about increasing all this defense, and we've got Coast Guard here, which is tied with defense now, what's the possibilities of something maybe happening here with regards to that, right? So
And a very updated airport as well.
Yeah, updated airport.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what some of the places we're talking about, their access to their airports, and they say, hey, we got an airport that's got really good access for stuff. But anyways, and then the Hardy Hustle, obviously, that was excellent. No, it was over 100. How many did they have?
121.
121.
And if you don't mind me saying, we had about, I think we had like 65 from Port Hardy and the rest were from all over.
Wow.
Which is so cool.
Almost
Yeah,
50-50,
yeah,
eh?
almost 50.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah,
Amazing.
people were really excited. The new timers that came and stuff, they're like, we'll be back. And
Yeah,
they really liked it.
yeah. I was talking to one lady there at the starting line and she said that she was up from the Nanaimo, the first time that she'd been up this way. And she says, oh, I gotta tell all my other friends now to come up for this because she thought it was awesome. Of course, our weather couldn't have been better. It was just perfect. So, and then one girl from, what was the name of that lady that you know from the
Oh, she used to
Angie,
be,
is her name?
no,
No, what's it?
she just sent me a postcard.
Mhm.
Yes.
Thank you for being there at the Hardy Hustle and how
Yeah.
great it was.
But she said that she'd been here a couple of years or whatever. She said, every time we come, she said, I can't believe the weather, she says. It was perfect. The weather couldn't have been better.
Andrea.
Andrea. that's
Andrea
it.
from Sayward.
Andrea from Sayward, she's
Andrea
in
from
Campbell River now.
Everybody knows Andrea.
She's really cool.
She was so awesome. Yeah, okay, but that's all I got. But hey, great job. Recreation Department, that was very well done, very well organized, and it was a great event. So thank you for that.
Thank you for my report.
Okay, John, that's why we're furnished.
All right, well, I did the Hardy Hustle too, and it was hillier than ever, but super well organized. Fred did a great job. Nobody got lost. There was candy at the finish line. That was like, that was
Wow.
the spot for me. Forget the fruit and stuff. I need That's fantastic. Yeah, no, it was good. Really, really well organized. Good to see it growing. And I think the 10K was super popular.
Mhm.
And there's just a few of us scramblers in the half, but that's okay. We'll find some friends next year. Yeah, and I attended the wayfinding session as well, wayfinding mural session, and yeah, but it was interesting how they did it. Like one of the questions that came to my table was, what do you want people to know about Port Hardy that they don't know? That's
Mhm.
interesting way to put it. So you know, that's interesting stuff like that. So, but compiling everybody's brainstormed ideas, it'll be interesting to see the next condensed, what they come up with. So that's good. I also attended the new NADA meeting and Heather's got the trip itinerary very well organized. So that's great. And the Look West webinar, can I kind of have echo the same sentiments as Councillor Dugas? In that, there was kind of just a lot of talk and, yeah, they specifically said Vancouver Island and like giving us that reputation that we're closed for industry, which is not true. Maybe Victoria is closed for industry.
Yeah.
We're the good end of the island and we're open. And then just, comments about, yes, Councillor Dugas again, comments about San Joe. When I was out that way on the weekend, we didn't see any Teslas, but there was a Porsche in the parking lot.
What?
Yeah.
First time I've seen a Porsche, a white one. Well, it was white. Yeah, so I thought, oh, that's.
Did it have 10
That's
tires?
a first.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't even take my Honda.
Wow, how brave of them, so.
I think it's more stupidity than birth. Whatever.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna miss this upcoming evening street market. I was really excited about it, but I don't think I'm gonna be away. So, but if I'm here, I might pop there for 5 minutes or something. I can scratch it in, but yeah, all the best at it. Be good. I know it'll be good.
Mhm.
All right, so for me, I attended the wayfinding and the mural. And like everybody else, it was very interesting. I didn't think it would be as interesting as it was, and then how they did it. So looking forward to the draft coming up whenever it comes in and going forward. Attended the Island Coastal Economic Trust meeting and talking about different projects, many of them industrial, some of them electrical. And the projects I can't talk about now, but they go on to the next stage, and if they're approved, then they'll be public. But it's all about economics, and it's all about on the Vancouver Island. And I think us writing this letter to the Prime Minister, maybe we need to copy Brittany Anderson and Ravi Kahlon,
Mhm.
because it is about economics and being here.
Friendly amendment. Copy those.
And because they're talking about a 10-year strategy to build BC industrial
Mhm.
and the economics involved in it. I attended a rural mayor meeting, a BC rural mayor meeting regarding health, about doctors and ER closures and what can we do, and just gonna keep lobbying. It's my take on it and keep working on it. The fun thing, I had the visit from a grade 2-3 class that said, thank you. All signed it, and that was really cute, talking about, they're going around, one of the things they're doing right now is talking to different organizations like the RCMP, the fire department, the mayor, and just finding out what people do. I think they're going to the hospital as well, finding out what people do, how we're helping our town. The Hardy Hustle, our rec department did excellent. Our runners did excellent. Our local ones, Councillor Dorwood, Councillor,
Texmo.
Kexmo, thank you. Our corporate services manager. And then all the volunteers from that are either sitting at this table or, working for the district that helped out, but also the other community members that volunteered. And I think it was, you were saying about one of the volunteers had never done it before, never been involved in it, and how much fun it was.
Mhm.
So I thought that, and this is a long-term resident that had never volunteered to do it and really enjoyed it. The people that came out, because I talked to many of them, what I found was really interesting is how many were families. So parents had come up to visit their daughter or their son and the grandchildren, and they were running in it. And that wasn't just one set of parents, that was a few sets of parents. And one came through and she still had her lipstick on. I said, you still have makeup on. She goes, that's my signature statement. But the last one that came through is probably my most favorite runner. Because as she's running through and she's the last one going through, her husband's waiting for her, she went. That said it all. I mean, she didn't look like she was dying or anything, but she was, oh my gosh. And so, but it was very, very neat. And then today, the other thing I did, which wasn't part of the mayor duties, is part of being a grandparent. I went to the Kwakwa cultural celebration at, and this is the school at the Quatsino First Nations. Oh my, that cultural performance that they put on was amazing. And all these children doing these different dances but the person, and I miss the microphone wasn't working really well, so I miss what his name is, but he would introduce the different dances, but explain what they were for, what the origin was, and all the detail. And some of it I've never heard before. Others I had heard some of the stories, but not all of them. And I just thought it was very, very impressive. So I was so glad I was able to go out to it. And spent a few hours up there today. So that's it for me. Okay, under information and announcements, we have actually not on here, but it's June 14th is the first farmers market down at Carrot Park. And then the it's next week as well on the Wednesday. And then, of course, the big house opening is next week from the 15th to 18th. So lots happening in the town and some meetings coming up. And we have a notice of an in-camera meeting on June 23rd. A motion to adjourn. Oh, man, that was high. I'll go with Council Dugas. Questions?
Regarding your,